I apologize, my video ran out of time, and we will finish this last lesson with the webcam. So we left off, as I was running out of time, with the structure of xylem. Two things about the structure of xylem, just to recap. Because it's dead and empty cells, you don't have to worry about water having to pass through the cell membrane. There is no cell membrane. Secondly, because of the chemical structure of xylem, xylem has the ability to hydrogen bond to water, which allows water to adhere to it to prevent it from falling back down as it's being pulled up by the force of transpiration. So those two things about xylem help it do its function. We are now, again, we're not going to go through the huge details of this, because you used to have to know the huge details, but sometimes plants are under water stress, and they don't want to lose any more water from their cells, and they want to stop transpiration. To do that, the stomata can be closed, and the opening and closing of stomata are controlled by guard cells, which are these green cells here. And the guard cells are controlled by the uptake and loss of potassium ions from those guard cells. So if we take a look here, the stomata are open, and the opening of the guard cell is caused by the uptake of potassium ions, which causes the guard cells to become turgid and causes the hole, or them to move further apart and causes the stomata to open. There are a lot more details about this that we do not need to know, so we're not going to go through, but just essentially the uptake of potassium ions causes the stomata to open. If you want to close the stomata, the guard cells begin to lose potassium, and that causes the guard cells to become flaccid, and therefore they close the stomata. Now, plants always have a sort of compromise between photosynthesis and transpiration. Plants do not want to lose that much water, but they also need carbon dioxide to do photosynthesis, and they get carbon dioxide through their stomata. So there's this balance here. They don't want to lose that much water, but they also need the stomata open so they can get carbon dioxide to do photosynthesis. So the question now is, what causes the stomata, or what controls the opening and closing of stomata? What environmental conditions? So first of all, extreme light exposure, extreme light exposure will control the transport of potassium in of the guard cells and cause the guard cells to close the stomata. So extreme light intensity can cause the stomata to close. If there's a lack of carbon dioxide in the plant cell, that will allow the plant cell to open their stomata. And then last but not least, if there's a water drought or water stress, a hormone known as acidic acid is released. And acidic acid works through signal transduction pathways. That's that tells part, and we're not going to go through the signal transduction pathway. But it works through signal transduction pathways to allow the stomata to close in response to lack of water, to prevent the water from undergoing extreme water stress or wilting. Plants under water stress have adaptations. We're going to talk about this a little bit on Monday, to prevent water loss. Plants that live in warm, dry environments often have smaller surface area leaves to prevent extreme water loss, or they'll have less stomata, which obviously if there's less stomata, there's less places to lose water. So those are two adaptations that plants that live in water stress environments have. Another thing that helps is that stomata are located on the underside of the leaf, and that reduces exposure to the sun, which also slows water evaporation from the stomata. Some plants that also, as a side note, that also live in aquatic environments, they don't have stomata. They have water, constantly available water, and they actually get carbon dioxide through diffusion through plant tissue. So many aquatic plants, they adjust their structure that way. They don't even have any stomata, and they actually diffuse carbon dioxide through the moist environment in the water through their plant tissues. So the video is officially done. Let's go see if we've got Ruby vision. Now we need Kaiser vision. So Kaiser's sleeping in his chair, so we're going to bring you to Kaiser. I hope he's still there. He is still there. So this is a cat room. We're in the cat room now. And if you see, you have sleeping Kaiser. Say hi, Kaiser! Sleeping Kaiser! Hi, Kaiser. Kaiser's like, what are we doing? Why are you talking to me? Alright, Kaiser, go back to sleep. Alright, enjoy the rest of your break. I shall see you all on Monday. Remember to answer the guided questions for homework and do the animal take-home. And then you'll be all set for the break. See you guys on Monday.